Hey, let's talk about this, man. One of the major reasons so many of us as followers of Jesus don't experience the life that he has for us, even though we're in the faith, even though we go to church, even though we call ourselves Christians, one of the main reasons we don't experience the fullness of life that he offers us is because we have not yet died. That's right, man. Scripture says that death must come before life. Jesus says, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it can bear no fruit. And he's given us something that every single one of us who follow Jesus have participated in that demonstrate the totality of what our death is supposed to look like. And what he's given us is baptism. Baptism. Whether you were sprinkled as a baby or dunked as an adult, that is secondary to the primary meaning of baptism in your life. Yeah, baptism means that I have died. I have been crucified in this life so that I can be raised up and walk in a brand new life. There must be death so that there can be life. Listen to what the Apostle Paul teaches. Romans chapter 6 and verse 4. Therefore, we have been buried with him through baptism into death. Buried with Christ in baptism into death, so that as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, so too we might walk in newness of life. There is no newness of life without death. Death to who you thought you were, death to what the world said about you, death to what your parents said about you, death to what the world says is success, death to the world's definitions, death to the way of life, death to everything. Death is total. I am dead to all of those things. I'm dead to my sin. I'm dead to my selfishness so that I can be raised to walk in newness of life, new life. I am now who my Father says that I am. I now believe what Jesus says I am to believe. I now live my life according to what my Father wants me to do, according to his plans for my life, believing that his plans are better than my plans for my life. For I cannot be alive to the world. I cannot be alive to what I want. I cannot be alive to things that I think are right and good and be alive to Jesus Christ at the same time. There must be a death. And so many of us in the faith are unwilling to die. And it's our unwillingness to die that is keeping us from experiencing the life that Jesus has for us to live. May we become like the Apostle Paul, who said in Galatians 2:20, I have been crucified with Christ. And it is no longer I who live. Look at what he's saying. Look at the totality of what he's saying. Look at the conversion. Look at the death to life. I have been crucified with Christ. I've been put in the grave. And it's no longer I who live. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who's living in me. I've got a new heart. My blood pumps in a different direction. My mind is fixed on other things. I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. In this life I live by the body. This life I live in the body, I live by faith. I live by faith in the Son of Man who died for me and gave himself for me. So if you want to live today, if you want to experience the fullness of this spirit-filled supernatural life that the God of all creation made you to experience, the greater question, or the primary question, is this: are you ready to die? Are you ready to quit? Are you ready to surrender? Are you ready to let go of all of these other things? Are you ready to let go of yourself so that you can live in the fullness of all that our Father has for you? In the faith, death must come before there is life.